So today we're going to be doing a lot to the Racecar. We've got our Stage 2 clutch from ECS Tuning. We have our Cae shifter from Hard Motorsport. We're going to be doing this all at once since the transmission has to come out for both projects. And then the other thing that we bought that just arrived today was the new DISA valve that's a genuine BMW part.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
So we've skipped a couple of the boring things, took the exhaust off, which we did recently in our header install. My flex disc is pretty cracked, so it's a good thing we've got a new one, and we'll show you that right now.
Right now we're taking the transmission bolts off the transmission so we can take it out.
So we've abandoned the clutch project for tonight. We had some bolts that were pretty seized up, so we are letting them sit with some PB Blaster. And then I'm not going to continue that project until we get some new bolts in. So hopefully our local dealership or maybe O'Reilly's or something has those bolts. In the meantime, tonight we can actually finish the Cae shifter, and then I've got some other parts that can go in the car. Colton's below us. He's going to be helping us take the shifter out. And then once all the trim is off, we're going to be putting in the Cae shifter. And I'm not going to be putting the trim back in just yet. I know it's actually too big for a little bit of the trim, so people like to trim it down. So we're just going to leave all that out. Today we've got Doug Hymas with us. He is our local mechanical guru. It doesn't matter if it's Porsche, BMW, Ford, he knows what's going on. So what he's gonna be doing today is helping me out. I've never done the clutch before, which is kind of what stumped us yesterday. And then we've got some stubborn bolts that we're gonna be getting out today as well.
Stubborn's an understatement.
Yeah, we broke one in half, so we're gonna be extracting that, and then we're gonna have to be overnighting some parts in so we can get the car to autocross in a couple days. This is one of the bolts that we broke. Somebody has been in here before because we found another bolt that wasn't original to the car.
That's how you cut one off. It's not broken.
So we have the transmission here on the ground. One thing I did notice when we pulled it out, it smelled very much like burnt clutch, which was kind of expected. The supercharger is very powerful compared to stock parts, so I knew that this was going to go out. In fact, I had bought my other clutch probably 6 months ago in preparation for this project. So this was all known issues, and again, we're really excited to get the new one put in. So we're a couple weeks later. The clutch and the CAE shifter have been in the car for a little bit. Thought we would go and drive it around now that the clutch is broke in. We wouldn't have been able to really get on it for the first 400 or 500 miles. As you can hear, the car is heating up, so we're gonna back it off the lift and we're gonna go take it for a drive. Alright, so the CAE Ultra shifter and E46 Tuning Stage 2 clutch. The Ultra shifter actually was pretty easy to put in. The clutch is a completely different story. We fought basically every single bolt coming out and going back in. I had 3 bolts I had to drill out and replace. The clutch grabs so much better than an OEM setup. It's absolutely amazing. I get a lot of clutch chatter, which is expected for a Stage 2 setup. The clutch disc itself is a BMW Stage 2 disc, and the lightweight flywheel is an E46 tuning part. What was really nice about the kit was I got all new bolts, new throwout bearing, everything. We also have here RJ with me today, who is going to be taking the ride now that we are finally able to get on the clutch, finally able to give it some beans. So right now the clutch has about 480 miles on it, which is just a standard break-in. It was all done city. It was not fun at all to do. It took a lot of restraint not to punch it or anything like that. I just had to drive very normal, and it was pretty hard, especially had the new shifter in it and everything like that, and knowing that I was going to be putting power down better than my OEM clutch. It was very difficult not to just want to try it out. Give your opinion on the clutch and the shifter, and then we'll talk about some other items.
Let me drive the car and I'll tell you.
You're not driven the car with this yet?
No, I have. I drove it the first night, remember? I drove around town and put like 50 miles on it.
That's true. Okay.
No,
so RJ hasn't driven the car since it's past his break-in period, so we're probably going to have to give RJ a chance to drive it. So far, RJ helped me put some city miles on it when we were driving around at 4 a.m. after we had gotten done installing all of the parts.
Someone making popcorn. Alright, so we just pulled over, and Jordan and I are going to switch seats real quick. And I'm going to drive the car and kind of give my opinion on it.
He's driven it with all these items on it, but he hasn't been able to really give it any power because we were worried about breaking the clutch in. Ready? Yeah. This is kind of RJ's inaugural run with everything in the car. We're pretty excited about it. Look at how excited RJ is about it. That was only about 22 miles an hour. Back end is swirly.
I actually really like the shifter. It is a little notchy, but I guess that's to be expected with performance shifters. You kind of got to be like a little aggressive with them. I personally actually really like the feel of that, it being so notchy. I was wanting to do this in my E30 even before we got it, and now I'm pretty much 100% sold on it. That clutch is super grabby. It's like there's no play in it, I guess.
So I know this is a little bit different video than what we normally post. Normally are doing installs and stuff like that. Unfortunately on this last one, it was all hands on deck for that clutch. Like I said, we broke a couple bolts in it. I am going to be linking a clutch video that we used. He's a really good guy. I've been watching him for a long time. He does a lot of BMW repairs. And obviously the two items that we put in the car, the Stage 2 clutch and the Cae Ultra shifter, will be also in the links below. I highly recommend both of these items. The Cae shifter for all vehicles, it is absolutely phenomenal. And we plan to put it in the BMW E30 that we've been working on.